Hey, this is Anthony from RevZilla TV. We can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new REVIT Dominator GTX Jacket, available at RevZilla.com. This is the latest in a long lineage of game changers from REVIT. This is the Dominator GTX, north of $1,200. This is the jacket that makes the technical outer shell that uses the best of all of their comfort and defense features we've ever seen them utilize. Now, in the past, in 06, 07, we saw REVIT come out with the Cayenne Pro, which changed the game and put them on the adventure riding map in the States. We've seen iteration after that, and that leads us back to an Apex Predator that's a technical Gore-Tex outer shell, true four-season adventure, really sparing no expense. You're making an investment in this shell that's going to go heads up with RV'IT. It's going to go heads up with Climb. It's going to sit atop of the ADV food chain. And for me, even when we look at the style, it gets REVIT back to the roots that we've missed for so long. Now, within that REVIT food chain, remember, you have the Poseidon, which is a step down slightly. Still Gore-Tex, and that's going to be three-season cold weather. You still have the Defender Pro, which is true four-season. That's brand new. That's going to have those liners to drop, and you have that Cayenne Pro jacket, which is back, and that's going to have that aggressive three-season hot weather functionality. But as you look at this jacket, and I'm about to break down all the features, get your popcorn, you could be here for a while. The big things to call out are some of the brand new features we've never seen them use. We've seen Armor Core, we've seen Talisman, we've seen Gore Pro Shell, which means it's waterproof, breathable, guaranteed for life, and we've seen this Euro Fit from REVIT, and they've done it so well. But here are some of the features you haven't seen. Among the 10 vents, you're now having the VCS system with a fidlock. We saw that for the first time on the Poseidon, which was Gore-Tex. Now you're baking it into a true adventure jacket, direct ventilation straight through that liner. You're also going to see a monkey paw system, which is brand new, that's removable. We've not seen anyone do the removable monkey paw. Great in the winter, not so great in the summer. They're going to come off. Again, a lot of well thought out items. But here's the big selling point when you look at something like this that takes it to the next level. For me, it's the armor pack. And you have a CE rated jacket that comes with brand new CE level 2 rated armor. So we've seen Trionic do the C-Soft back protector. That's going to be that type 2 included. It's going to be that CE level 2 back protector. But this is the brand new armor from REVIT. It's asymmetrical, it's temperature stable, it's fully ventilated and all-encompassing. This is called C-Flex, and it passes the CE level 2 rating for limbs. This is a left shoulder scapula. Notice it's asymmetrical, the way it fits. It gives me back coverage as well. Notice the ventilation scheme, and it's a closed cell material, meaning that it's not gonna take on water, it's not gonna become hard when it comes cold, it's temperature stable, so really cold or really warm, it's still gonna form to you, it's still gonna feel very comfortable. But more importantly, it's still going to perform. Now, if I take my scapular and I chuck it, here's going to be my left elbow. Notice it has a slight ergonomic change to it. It's different than the right side. But again, open cell on the side here that compresses and absorbs that energy. Closed cell foam, or closed cell really rubber. It's not a foam at all. And again, it's going to get you to that next level from REVIT. They're ahead of the curve with the CE level 2 rating. Now, if we look at the jacket, let's talk quickly about fit before I go on a tear and break it all down for you. When we look at this jacket, High-Vis Brian, 6 foot, 195, 42-inch chest. He's wearing a size large. Now, there's a lot of adjustability here. You're going to see adjustability in the arms, on the biceps, the forearms, along the back. This fits him snugly. This is more of an athletic fit. It's not that big, boxy Climb fit that we see. It's not the RV'IT more broad fit. This is going to be REVIT. It's more European in nature. It's still going to fit spot on with their size chart. Brian has an athletic American build, but again, it has a great svelte look to it. Notice the articulation in the arms. It's going to be rock solid for active riding in off-road, on-road conditions, multi-season, working hard, standing on the pegs, really rocking your bike. Now, keep in mind, we're going to ship for free anything over 39 bucks if you're concerned about that fit scheme. Don't worry about it. We're going to help you out there. And as always, I would love it if you would click right there, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV, our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, and more importantly, your feedback on the new Dominator GTX. If you love it as much as we do, in the comments there, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV. So let's work from the outside in. High-Vis Brian, Mon Frere, and let's break it down. Starting high level, remember, it's Gore Pro Shell. Remember, waterproof, breathable, guaranteed for life. We talked about it. It allows you to breathe. Impervious to Mother Nature. It's going to pass the Gore on-road test, and it's 3-layer. 3-layer in the shoulders, in the chest, 3-layer all the way down the midsection. Now, the Poseidon from REVIT's going to be 2-layer. It makes it a little bit more lightweight. They're going bomb-proof here, so it's the heavy-duty stuff. And keep in mind, too, you have that Gore Pro gives you the ability to sweat and have that evaporate out, but we haven't talked about thermal. And that's because REVIT's new approach for some of their more high-end technical jackets is a It's a non-integrated approach. It's a modular approach. So you buy your technical outer shell, and then if you want a base or mid layer, you can add it separately. You could work off the base or mid layers you currently have, or go towards REVIT's new lineup. My personal favorites are the Alpha, or the Radiant. They're gonna be the Solar. They're gonna be a different mix of base and mid layers that'll work well underneath this jacket. Keep that in mind, and it has enough room to be able to beef up those mid layers and take you into the colder season climates. Now, when we think about protection, we already talked about C-Flex. C-Flex is gonna be your CE Level 2 armor throughout the entire jacket. But what you have is a shell made of Gore Armacore. Armacore is aramid or Kevlar infused Cordura. That is ripstop. That is extremely heavy duty, and you're seeing it in these massive areas throughout the jacket. That's complemented with your power shell material, high denier, high abrasion resistance from REVIT. But more importantly, this is my favorite piece, and this is where it gets really gnarly. This is called Talisman, and we've seen people do Talisman the wrong way, which means it's too tightly woven. It creates bulk on the jacket. This is the perfect mixture of Talisman that's going to give you that ability to have Armacore with the tiny ceramic laser welded super fabric plates on top that aid in sliding in impact areas. But again, it's done in a way that allows breathability. It's done in a way that's not creating excess bulk or weight. And notice the way that this is hashed out on top of the shoulders, fully on the forearm, all the way up to the elbow to this elasticated stretch panel. You can see that nice big panel of Armacore on top there. Again, super fabric is a technology that's added on. It's a third party and allows you to slide much farther than Kevlar, much farther than leather. Again, it's ceramic defense baked in the jacket. Now, I will call out, this is a pre-production version. They've made some changes. They've listened to our feedback. We're actually going down the route of having silver super fabric dots instead of black on top of a black panel. So what you're going to see is a little bit less contrast in the final produced version. Keep that in mind. That is going to be a change when you look at the pictures at RevZilla.com. Looking at some of the other macro elements on the outside of this jacket, remember I talked about 10 vents, and that's the beauty of Gore Pro. You're not venting to the liner, you're venting to the body. So you start with your fidlock system, nice big YKK zips. You know I love them all the way through. They're bomb-proof. You love that. They know I love the YKK zips. Here's my fidlock system. With the gloved hand, you just snap it up. It locks in place. It doesn't move. It's a neodymium rare earth magnet. This is a German technology. Fidlock. We saw it on the Bell Rogue. We've seen it in some Ruka products. Again, it snaps in and it doesn't lock. And with the gloved hand, you don't have to slide it in. You just push it down and you're done. But notice that's over top of the patented VCS, or the Aqua Defense system, which they've worked with Gore to develop, that allows you to have a direct venting panel that blocks water out because it creates this big seam or this big edge here. Notice 3D mesh. 3D mesh throughout, you're going to get the ability of having that mesh be away from your body. A little bit of space creates a corridor for better airflow. Direct venting there. You have direct venting through these pockets down here that run double duty. Notice it's VCS again, the Aqua Defense system, with that edge, that channel, with 3D mesh behind it. And then when you move into your sleeves, bicep vents directly venting to the body. Forearm vents directly venting the body. You have the monkey paw here, which is fully removable. It'll help you stay cool. And I'm not turning you backwards yet, but if I turn Brian backwards, you're going to see two massive vertical back vents. That's the ventilation scheme. Imagine off-road all day long on an F800 GS. You've been in the woods for 2 days. You're motorcycle camping. You need to get that airflow through, especially if you're riding in the spring or the summer, especially if you're riding in a more enduro style. This jacket, this combo is going to work well. And you can see the fact that Brian's wearing the Dominator GTX in the pants. Now, from the ventilation scheme, we move into some of the other features here on the anterior, on the front of this jacket. You're going to notice reflectivity that's baked in certain areas throughout this jacket. We have it on the sleeve. We're going to have it across the chest. You're also going to notice as you work your way down from it towards the pockets, these are going to be waterproof pockets. These are going to have a spring-loaded Fiocchi snap here that holds it in place. Waterproof, notice the big gator that comes up to the front, and they're going to sit in front of a hand warmer pocket. Again, fleece line, that Trico fleece has a snap on the outside. Now, if I'm nitpicking, I love to see a zipper there. They left it out. I'm sure they had a good reason for it. Now, if we stay in the midsection here, there's another few things that you need to keep in mind. See these two loops? They're for the connector HV vest, which is an add-on from REVIT. It's the high-vis mil-spec vest that allows you to make this more visible in a pinch by just connecting it right there to the outside connection points. There's also going to be zippers on the inside of the jacket for the Challenger vest, which is their cooling vest, that evaporative cooling factor. And here's one thing you've never seen from REVIT before. It's these blue loops. a blue loop here on both sides. You have a blue loop in the back. That's the connection point for the brand new REV'IT Adventure neck brace that connects and integrates with the shell of the jacket and with a snap in front that undoes it. And again, this is just like a Liat. It's like any other neck brace you see, but it's REV'IT's from Trionic. They've developed their own now. It's going to allow you to keep it connected to your jacket, undo the brace. You don't have to disconnect them. You take everything off together. Really nice touch. Now, if we move back up to the collar, you're going to see a classic from REV'IT. 5-position spring-loaded snap allows you to adjust it with the collar snap and loop back, keeping it open for summer weight riding. If we look at it, you have your rain gutter system behind it. And notice here, not your grandmother's Velcro. This is micro Velcro. This is the beefy stuff that doesn't wear out. They go with that micro Velcro. It's not going to pull any of your base layers, and it's going to hold up and be a little bit stiffer in the longer run. Now, if we move from the guts here along the neck, and we're going to move over to the sleeve, you're going to notice we talked about the cinching. Talked about a big cuff that's on the lateral or the medial side from inside. And if we pull this up right here, you're going to see big gusset behind. And if we open it up, you're going to see how long these monkey paws are, and it exposes a small zipper, and that small zipper gives you the ability to pull this off for the summer. Many times we've seen people do monkey paws, and the adventure riding community either loves it or hates it. It creates that great seal, especially if you're getting rained on, between the jacket and your glove, depending on the size of your gauntlet. But that monkey paw in the summer just gets hot. So now REV'IT's giving you the ability to remove it. And I will tell you that there is talk right now about shortening that monkey paw just a hair for the final production version. But again, getting that coverage, that gaiter, saves you having to go with an overly bulky glove if you don't want to go that route, and it gives you better longevity into cold weather times of the year. Now, High-Vis Brian, I'm tired of looking at you. Turn and face away. If we move High-Vis Brian over, let's get a good shot down the sleeve. Remember, this is going to be your super fabric. You move into your reflective material, elastication at the top of the elbow, and now I have massive super fabric. Again, it'll be gray dots, not black dots, over top of the black background moving down. Now notice, it is an active jacket meant for aggressive riding. This is stretch material, and you say, oh no, am I going to lose my Gore-Tex waterproof breathability? Nope, this is stretch Gore-Tex. Again, the technology taking it to the next level. And if we look underneath that, notice the rail system here. We have our rail system at the hip, underneath the sleeve, 2-position, you're able to move it and adjust it, and that's giving you the ability to really cinch this in the bodice and give you that best fit that's going to support you while you're riding. Remember, there's an integrated kidney belt in this jacket, and if you cinch that properly and cinch the outside, you're going to get support for a longer ride, sitting in a more upright position, again, over a longer distance. Now, moving down, again, YKK auto lock, 4-inch gusset down here towards the bottom. And if we begin to look, you're going to see the rabbit pouch here along the back as well. High-Vis Brian, turn backwards for me. If we look at starting with the rabbit pouch, it's an expandable rabbit pouch. It's going to be fully waterproof. It's Gore-Tex as well. And notice I have my zipper here that allows you to get more volume. So if you start to pull anything out of it, if you're riding with, say, it's something like the Solar, which is going to be their synthetic Primaloft mid layer, you could put it in that pouch, and when you're not using it, you could cinch it down so it's not going to flap on you. From the pouch on the way up, you're going to see here are the 2 big vents, rounding out those 10 vents that I spoke of earlier. These are water-resistant zippers with mesh behind them. They're going to exhaust. They're going to exhaust all of that warm air, all of that sweat away from you, and keep you ventilated. And when you move up past that, now you have you have your reflectivity coming back into play here, which is going to have that design with it, nice little style pop, moving into more gray armor core towards the top. Now, if we move up towards our collar, you're going to see I neglected to mention it earlier. This is the neoprene collar with the tricot lining. Again, fleecy lined, neoprene at the top. It's not going to bite you, whether you're hot, whether you're cold, whether you're rainy, whether you're wet. It's going to keep you comfortable, and it's going to be supportive for any season of riding. And you know what I love? I'm going to turn you slightly this way, Brian. And this is what I love from the European manufacturers that are listening to us. The American market wants more muted styles at times. Now, you can get this in a black, you can get this in this BMW color scheme that we see here. If he moves his arm, you're going to see all the technology that's baked into this jacket, but what you don't see is these big pops of color on the front of the jacket. Sometimes in Europe, they're going to stick it everywhere. In the States, we don't like that as much. We want subtlety, we want aggression without being over the top, and it's nice that they did that. It reminded you of all the technology you have baked in, but they're not making it done in an over-the-top way. Come back around to the front for me. If I had to nitpick one more thing, if I look at this jacket, I would love to see a pop of reflectivity down towards the cuff, just again increasing the coverage of that humanoid form, which we know is more recognizable when you're riding. But really, the way that they've iterated on this and the fact that you're not paying for anything in the guts, because guys that will buy this typically have a closet full of base and mid layers, it's nice to make those investments in technology, protection, and comfort from the shell standpoint. Making our way into the inside of the jacket, let's open it up now, expose that rain gutter, more micro Velcro, break it open, Brian, you're gonna see, remember, this is Gore Pro, so again, you have to have that protection to become impervious to rain. Now, if we look at it, you're gonna see simplification and support. Basic mesh on the interior, antimicrobial, tricot lining up here that I talked about, which is that nice micro fleece across your neck. You'll notice it's not going to chafe you, but as we look at it, you'll see Vislon, YKK, beefy zipper for the pants, so you can make that connection and open it up all the way there, Brian. You're seeing two pockets. You have a Napoleon pocket. You're going to have a pocket on the inside of the left breast, but more importantly, what you're seeing for the first time from REV'IT is the kidney belt. It's a highly adjustable kidney belt that has a secret pocket baked into it. You have that Napoleon pocket on the inside, and there's actually a third secret pocket in this as well. So you can always slide your 50 bucks into the kidney belt like they used to do back in Airwolf in the 1980s. You remember that episode? But you're also going to have a secondary passport pocket, which is nice because if you're riding through somewhere dangerous and you know you need to be able to pay off the border like you do in so many places, it'll be nice to put some of your other cash and your other credentials somewhere a little bit more safe that they might miss if they're going to go through your stuff. And again, on the inside, remember, it's meant to be modular. The Solar, the Radiant, the Alpha, the Anuk. These are going to be the mid and base layers you're going to use from REV'IT to beef this up if you really want to thwart Mother Nature and you're going to ride until there's ice on the ground. So remember, this is the new Apex Predator from REV'IT, atop the food chain technical shell. 4-season in its design, the best of the technology and design they have available today. It sits atop the Poseidon, it sits atop the Defender Pro, which is similar, has less technicality, but also has those drop liners. And remember that Cayenne Pro still plays in the mix too with that new C-Flex armor. Keep in mind, the next step in your journey is to click right there. Read other rider reviews at RevZilla.com. You don't have to take my word for it, but you can tell that I'm absolutely excited about the REV'IT Dominator. As always, we're going to ship for free over 39 bucks. And if you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our fully detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Dominator GTX at RevZilla.com, Apex Predator. I'm Anthony. Subscribe to us at YouTube, our RevZilla TV channel. We'll see you next time.